how can you begin to heal when the person or the people you have to heal from is family? Hey, it's Uplifting Others. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, hey, Uplifters. Aftermath of incest childhood trauma. I'm not blinking out any words because this is doing my healing, you know. And I started this channel to help someone else and also help myself. Well, no, scratch that. It was to help other people, but in me helping other people, I'm helping myself and I'm healing myself. So yeah, so, you know, sometimes, a lot of times when things go on dealing with family, you sweep it under the rug, you don't deal with it, you don't talk about it. Some cases, the predator, abuser don't even go to jail for what they've done, right? So I'm thankful that my uncle went to prison for what he did, but that brought a little peace. When I say that, I'm saying like all of the things that I suppressed because I did not know how to deal with it, right? So aftermath of trauma looks different for everyone. In my case, I had trust issues. And I'm still working on that to this day. Big thing is I did not feel comfortable around certain people, and that was mainly males. You not be around males. But the two males that I could trust that life was my dad and my brother, like my big brother. And it was even hard to be around them at times. And I really never shared this with anyone except for my boyfriend, but like this is a part of healing or whatever. So yeah, like maybe close to, I don't know how long ago it was, but I started realizing a lot, like how I felt, and I still feel like my uncle took a lot away from me, meaning like my memories. Because like, if you all do not know, when you go through trauma, like you forget stuff. Like that is a known fact, and I forgot a lot of my childhood. But especially like now that my dad is passed away and I don't remember much, it makes me mad sometimes. But you know, working through it, healing through it. But I remember like my dad is the type like to give hugs or like to like blow on your like cheeks or my cheeks and stuff like that and sit on his lap. And I at first was not comfortable doing that after my abuse. And I had to learn how to, like, I know my dad wouldn't do that. Like he doesn't, you know, like I knew my dad wouldn't do anything to hurt me, but I had a problem with trusting and letting down my guard when it comes down to certain things. And that's a big thing when it comes down to like knowing that someone would never hurt you and still having a guard up because of what has happened to you. So when people talk about like, oh, you know, letting things go and, you know, moving on from the trauma, it happened years ago. It might have happened years ago, but I live with the aftermath till this day, you know? And it makes me realize certain things as I'm healing, as I'm going through the motions of just like releasing, you know? I said this year is the year of releasing. So to realize certain things, it kind of makes me mad sometimes. Like, he took that from me. Like, me being super guarded and not knowing how to let certain people that deserve it love me. self-confidence gone, you know? Like, I've always been shy, but at the same time, I felt like I wouldn't have been so shy and wanting to be invisible if it wasn't for what I went through. Isolation was a thing. Like, I loved to be by myself. I felt like my safe place and space was me being by myself. Like, sometimes I could be around my family, like be at school, be around my friends, act like nothing ever happened. But at the end of the day, like, I love to be by myself. And I felt alone sometimes. Even if I was in a room full of people, I felt alone. And I became a people pleaser. And I never stood up for myself. And I didn't have a voice. I didn't know how to have a voice. And I feel like that came from my trauma. Like, my voice was taken from me. I was mentally not okay. It doesn't matter how I acted like I was okay and I could play things off sometimes. I was not okay. And I still deal with things till this day that I am working on. But God is good all the time. Anxiety, PTSD, depression, not wanting to be around people or being in crowds. Social anxiety, me want to be closed off to myself. And granted, I'm an introvert. And maybe I became an introvert because of this, and I don't even know. Like, the aftermath of trauma is real. And as a teenager, I was super depressed. I did not like going to school because of just like not wanting to be around people, and I did not know how to express that. I didn't know how to deal with that, so I did not go to school. You know, I even tried to. And I say try because I guess it would, because I wanted to kill myself at a point. Like, I didn't want to be alive. And I don't talk about that as much, but it had, like, that happened. And I thank God, like, I didn't go through with it or it didn't work. But not wanting to be here is not okay. And dealing with trauma and not knowing how to work through your trauma is I don't know how to express it, like the worst feeling ever. And my suppressed memories surfaced. When they surfaced, it was like the worst ever. Like, smelling cherry chapstick. That made me think. I had flashbacks. Seeing pictures that was in my loved ones' houses, framed from him being in prison. That made me think about what happened to me. His name coming up, like, did something to me. And it's so crazy because, like, even before I knew God, I knew what I was doing, sometimes I would pray for my uncle, and I would think to myself, like, why am I praying for him? Because he hurt me. He did this to me. Why am I praying for him? And I did not know why. And it was for a reason, I guess. And I don't know the reason, but I don't know. I honestly did not know how to deal with what happened to me. No, I did not go to therapy as a child. I did not get the help that I needed. And I can honestly say maybe my mom and my dad did not know how to deal with it themselves. So they didn't know how to help me deal with it. And at this point, it is what it is. And as an adult, I forgave my uncle for what he did to me. But by me forgiving does not mean it didn't mean I was healed. And I really thought that forgiveness was the only thing that I had to do. I don't know why. It was me being young and not knowing and naive, but I really thought that, you know, like, I wrote my uncle a letter and I expressed to him that I am not forgiving him for him. I'm forgiving him for me. And that was a relief in itself. It's the end of things, and it wasn't. I forgave my uncle, but I allowed him to be in my space. And I feel like by me forgiving him, it gave my other loved ones, like my mom, my dad, everyone else, the okay for him to come around. And I wish, and I learned, of course, like, that I had spoke up and said, no, I don't want him around. Just because I forgave him doesn't mean that I want him around. But I did not know how to express that. I didn't want to be a problematic person, not realizing that I could have started setting boundaries for myself, and I didn't do that. Forgiveness does not mean reconnection. And I know that now, and just because I forgive someone for what they do does not mean I want them back in my life, back in my space. And I am thankful for the lesson that I learned when it comes down to forgiveness. And my healing did not truly begin until I made this YouTube channel. And I am so thankful for it. I just thought that it would end with my testimony and sharing what happened to me, to trying to help someone else. But this turned out to be me helping myself as well. And the aftermath of trauma is hard to deal with. It's hard to manage. It's hard to get to a better place. Healing doesn't have a time frame. And sometimes we have to really take a step back and really do some soul searching to begin our healing journey. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.